Hi, Macfam. Today I'm going to show you every page in my Barbie magazine, and hopefully you can see all of it without there being a crazy glare, because that's always my worry. So my hope, like I said, is that there isn't a glare and that my hands can stay as little shaky as possible. I also want you to be able to see. If you're mad at me for like folding my pages, I apologize. I do plan to do a different video in which I'm more, I hate the noise of like my Band-Aid hitting the paper. I do plan to show up close, so if you like can't see the words, I do plan to do closer up, but hopefully all the pages in here, because my other Barbie Bazaar magazine did not have all the pages in it. And you might be questioning why I'm not using my tripod. I can't, it doesn't turn the one way, and I can't see this. Here is this page. I've yet to read this Barbie magazine. However, I do plan to read it at some point. I think I still have to finish my other Barbie Bazaar magazine. The reason why I'm showing you my Barbie magazine is because there's something like interesting about like Barbie random media that they have. And I think that these magazines are just really fun and interesting to see about like other people who like enjoyed Barbie at the time. These are Jean Marshall dolls, which is fun to see in this magazine. I have 3 of the Barbie Bazaar magazines. I've already showed one of them in full, and so obviously I'm doing that here now. I'm not sure how many of these magazines exist, but I'd like to get my hands on more. So if you're irritated with hearing me talk, you can obviously turn the volume off or down, but if you are curious, I'm going to continue to talk throughout this. If you're annoyed by the shakiness, I do apologize. My hand is not very steady, and if you see like an article in here or a page that you want to see closer up, let me know and I'd be happy to show them more closely, I guess. But this video is just an overview of all of the pages. You can get an idea of what's in here, and I'm not really focusing on any specific pages, if that makes sense. We're already on to page 31, and yes, I do recognize most of these dolls, which is so fun and exciting, and it's cool to see ones that like I don't get to see too often. Again, here's some more. I don't think I've ever seen the FAO Summer in San Francisco. I don't recognize her, but maybe I've seen her. Audrey Hepburn. I can see some old dolls at the bottom. Who are the ones at like the really bottom? Those ones are really cute. Wow, they look adorable. I love the photos taken for these magazines as well. I think they look nice, and we're already on to page 37, I believe. Is that Skipper? Who is that doll? Oh, she's so cute. And look at the little dog and Miss Lika. Could that possibly be Miss Lika, or is that Jenny? I don't know off the top of my head. Obviously, when I read this, oops, the camera is going off. When I read this, I'll know. I absolutely love the cute little mini accessories that they have. They're so fun. And also, is that Teresa? So cute. I don't know if I already said this, but the last magazine that I had was missing a few pages, so hopefully that is not this magazine, and this one has all of them, but I don't know. Wedding bells are ringing. This is so cute and so fun. I love the girl in yellow. Who is that? What outfit is that? Okay, I'll probably stop talking now, but yeah. We're already on to page 47, which is exciting.
By I was gonna stop talking, I meant that during like recording it I was gonna stop talking, but I'm gonna still talk in a voiceover anyways. So obviously, if you can see, I'm just going over all of the pages of my magazine. There's just something about like doll media or like doll stuff that I find fascinating. I don't know if this would be considered media or maybe just random stuff, but like, I don't know. Reading it, I read the first one, and the first one that I have, no, I don't remember which one it actually is, but like hearing from like other collectors is just always something really interesting to hear. And then like some of it was like different crafts or like different miniatures that people use, and I don't know, something very fascinating about that, just seeing like other collectors and their like what they're selling. I don't know, it's very fascinating to me. And so like I said, I really want more of these. I know that there's at least 9. I think this is 10. I'm looking at it now. Volume 10, issue 3. So there's got to be a bunch. It's April 1998. So there's got to be a decent amount of them out there somewhere. Anyways, I would like to find them. And if you don't know, the first one that I read, I think is volume 9, if I'm not mistaken. Don't ask what issue because I couldn't tell you. Had George Washington Barbie on the front, and I was so fascinated with it that the second I saw the George Washington Barbie for a decent price somewhere, I got it. So maybe I will end up getting, I think this is Fantasy Goddess of Asia, right? Is on the front cover of this, and it's something like that. Anyways, Bob Mackie, which is crazy expensive, right? So I'm gonna, maybe it'll be like the universe will thrust this doll at me for like a really good price, because I don't want to spend a lot. But I do know that I was looking at her and some of the goddesses, and they were crazy expensive, so I don't want to know how much she actually goes for. But I was just thinking that I was like, maybe I'll get her. I really wanted that George Washington Barbie, and I got her, so maybe I'll get this one. A girl can dream. Anyways, so I don't know, just something very fascinating about the magazines, and I decided to share them with people who might not have them to read. And you can see, and so if you want to see any up close pages, let me know and I will gladly take a little bit better. I just did an overview because I don't know, I could. Anyways, that is kind of what I'm looking at. I don't know what page this is, but it took forever to do. I do end up switching spots in a little bit. We're getting closer to the end, I feel, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, I haven't read this one, like I said. I only read the 9th one, volume 9. I don't know what issue, but I've only read that one and I haven't fully read it. I think I'm on page 100 and something, so I have a few more pages, but I really liked it, and so I cannot wait to read this one. It did take forever, but I read it over like a decent amount of time. Some of the pages are really short, and then others are crazy long. Like I read all the way through the people selling, so like it was just repeating the items that they're selling and the prices. And like I read the whole advertisement page because I was like, I want to know what people are selling their dolls for and then what they're going for now. That was very fascinating to me. Anyways, this is some accessory packs. I can't think of like what else was in the other book or magazine. There was stuff about different accessories or fashion packs. I feel like there was a pricing guide, a little bit of one. It talked about the newer dolls, but it also talked about crafting, I feel, like possibly making a doll. I'm not sure. I can't really remember. I feel like there were also stories from other stories of doll collectors, which is always fun to read. They're just very interesting. They have a lot to them, and I kind of wish there was still a magazine now, because I would definitely subscribe. I remember as a kid we had magazines that we sold for school, and I got like a subscription, and I loved that magazine. So if there was a doll one, I'd definitely purchase it. Maybe like if it was specific, actually just a whole doll one. I don't need just a Barbie or just a Monster High, but if there was like just a Monster High, just a Bratz, I would still subscribe to it. But I love all different kinds of dolls. Anyways, we're getting close to the end because I recognize this is like the advertisements. It says Stop and Shop. Anyways, I do plan to read this whole page, and there's usually like 6 of them, so that's great. Anyways, but we're getting to the end of it. If you can see, I switched up locations. Where my bed, that's one of my comforters that I sleep on. Anyways, like I said, we're getting to the end. We're close to it, and yeah, I do have a third one. Not all I have is 3, so stay tuned for that one. I feel like it's volume 11 if I'm not mistaken, but I didn't know there was multiple issues for each volume, so I'll have to take a look at that. But anyways, I think I'm going to close out now and then let you sit in silence for a little bit. I'm Akta. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know if you want to see anything more up close, any of the pages. Yeah, let me know. Bye!